Okay, here we go. This is Jake Farnsworth coming at you live in the midst of the COVID-19 quarantining. So, what better to do than to make a new YouTube video? This video you're watching, I'm gonna try to keep it shorter than my first and only other one, which was 42 minutes. In October 27th, 2018. Okay, so this will be my second technical video, my third video on my channel. I'm releasing 2 videos today, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. This video is kind of a follow-up from my first video, which was how I did my RN to BSN at WGU in 6 months. At today, that's almost 20,000 views. Nurses in my hospital have seen it. They found it. They said they liked it. There's 90 comments. I did my best to provide a written response to almost all those comments, but if I'm going to go through a couple and try to maybe answer some comments. However, there was one question that I could not answer fully because it was about the future of my life or maybe your life that a lot of people had were suspect about the prospects of being admitted into any kind of legitimate graduate program, namely FNPs or any kind of NP program and CRNA programs at big schools, or maybe, like I said, more, known schools. Well, let's cut to the dirty. At 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I was accepted into UNCW's DNP FNP program. Yay! So I told people 2 years ago, look, I've heard of it. I've heard of people getting accepted into bigger college systems. I wrote one person and I said, look, if you're trying to get into Harvard or Yale's NP program, then you're probably on a different path of life anyway, and maybe WGU is not for you. But other than outside of Ivy League schools, I think most people watching this will probably know the UNC system. I mean, Chapel Hill is I would say probably a world-renowned school. And hospital, and the whole UNC system. So that's our state college program. However, they're exceptional schools, and this is not just me saying that because I live here, but you can look it up online. Where they rank as far as nursing programs in the country. So UNCW is UNC Wilmington, which is the closest university to where I live. And this year, starting fall 2020, they have transitioned to a doctorate of nursing practice / they offer an FNP and a Psych NP program. So I'm going with FNP, and I received my letter yesterday, day before. And because I'm ghetto and I don't know how to cut videos, I will just show you. Oh gosh, it's got my address on it. All right, I'm gonna try to not get the address just in case there's non-believers out there. You can't switch the video once you're in video mode. Oh gosh. That's going to be not good for the video. I don't want to be turning it around, but I'll read it. Congratulations, UNCW This letter serves as the official notification of your admission to the graduate school at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Program DNP, concentration FNP, which it's a BSN to DNP program. Fall 2020 application. I'm a resident, blah, blah, blah. You got in, way to go. Okay, so I think that answers the biggest and number one concern that a lot of you have, that even I had. I asked that question when I got into WGU because I wasn't 100% sure I wanted to do a graduate program, but you know, it's smart to want to be able to, you know, to have that door to be able to be open to pursue that in the future should you want to. So here I am 2 years down the road, and I just went for it, and I got in off of my WGU transcript. And that was a big thing because UNCW required like a 3.0 or a 3.5, I think. Or with the 3.5, you got to opt out of the GRE, I think. And I even put that in my application because, like I said, I've commented before, on your transcript, when you graduate from WGU, it does say on the back, this is like equivalent to a 3.5 GPA. It doesn't come out and say 100% this is a 3.5 GPA because they can't technically do that because they are a pass-fail school and they have the pass-fail system, which I described fully in my other video. But they do actually put that equivalent for you on the transcript, and it says it's like two other colleges because they know you as a student are going to be, you know, potentially going to other schools. Coffee break. And so that was really nice, and it ended up working. Another big thing, okay, so that's that. Okay, so I hope that satisfies a lot of people. I'm sure there's somewhere out there who will be like, well, you couldn't get into a CRNA program. I don't know. Look, okay, I don't know. I bet you could. I don't want to do CRNA. I pretty much can't do CRNA because that's very clinical intensive. Our closest one is ECU, which is Greenville, which is about an hour and a half from me, and I'm not moving. So my program at UNCW is, you know, mostly fully online with campus intensives, you know, that are pre-planned throughout the semester. It ends up being a 2.5-year full-time program for a DNP. So you're getting the doctorate, and then of course you get to sit for the nurse practitioner boards at the end. So yeah, you know, hopefully, like I said, that is enough for you guys. I think it's a big enough school, it's a big enough system to say that the WGU will get you in. Now, is that it? Was it just the WGU? No, there was a lot of other things. You guys know, if you've looked at any graduate program applications, you have to write. Some of them require essays. Mine required a video. So that's part 2 of this video. Okay, so today I'm also releasing my video submission that I submitted to UNC for my DNP FNP application. So what they said was they gave you the content they wanted you to talk about, and you make it on YouTube. You have to create a YouTube account if you don't already have one. You film your video, and then you upload it to YouTube and you provide them with the link. And what I did was I made my video private so that only they could view it first, so it didn't have a bunch of views or whatever. whatever. I just wanted to do that until I knew I got in or I didn't, because I didn't want to upload the video if I didn't get into the program, because obviously the video didn't work if I didn't get in. But I got in, so we're all good now. You had to answer questions. I mean, try to put your best foot forward in 3 minutes, which is extremely hard. I'm at 10 minutes on this video. I talk way too much. The Psych NPs got 5 minutes for some reason. I don't know why, but the FNPs only get 3 minutes. You'll notice that that video is very professionally done because I had a friend videotape me. He's a videographer. He has other videos. And so he provided that service for me. And so that's something to think about. Look at the quality of mine. That was not just this. I didn't want to just put me in my living room and in a t-shirt and submit that to UNCW, you know? I mean, I'm sure some people did and maybe they got in or not, I don't know, but I wanted to try to do the best I could to increase my chances of getting in. So check that video out, and hopefully that helps you too if you are a prospective graduate student where your school requires video submission as well. I can't recall. All right, so here's some comments just to finish this video off. By the way, I will start FNP school in the fall, August 2020. If there's any of you out there that want me to semi-document my progression, because you know me, if you don't, I won't do another video for another 2 years if you don't ask, or if someone, or if, unless, like I said, the only reason I'm doing this video is to prove to people that you can get into a graduate program. So unless you ask a question about the future, like, hey, did you end up actually passing your FNP program? Then I won't do another video until I pass it. But if you want more up-to-date videos, put it in the comments, let me know. Someone wrote, what is your work schedule? While I was doing, so my work schedule was the 3 12 hours a shift, where they in a row or space. I get to kind of, I pick how I want. I'm PRN technically. I'm in a float pool right now in my hospital. Day shift. Don't do nights. I can't do night. I mean, I can, I've worked night shift before, but I do not like it. And that worked really well for studying and for just having the whole days off to study, take tests, whatever. So my goal is to continue to do that for the next 2.5 years while I go back to school, because I don't know, it works out great for me. And being an FNP, I mean, I feel like I'd want to be on the floor, being able to see what I'm learning play out in real time and be able to apply my knowledge and talk with the other NPs that I already know and I already work with at my hospital, and talk with the docs and stuff, because that's what you'll be doing as an NP for the rest of your life, is talking with doctors. If you're, especially in North Carolina, we are the most strict. We have the most, there's 3 tiers of the NP practice laws in the country, and North Carolina is in the most strictest tier, where we do need a overseeing physician signature, whatever they call it, agreement, overseeing agreement. So unless that changes, I will be always sort of under a doc, which I don't mind. It's not, I'm not too prideful to say, I know I'm not smarter than a doctor, and I know they went to tons of more years of school than me. So anyway, so that's my work life. Thank you for the 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 times a week. That seems doable. I spent like 10 hours a week studying alone. Yeah, so my studying, this is all regarding my BSN, by the way. I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, Starbucks, I live They are my life source. Coffee is my life source. Even everybody at my work knows. I get coffee when I come in, and I get afternoon coffee, and I'm good to go. So that's all I needed for my BSN. So 2 to 3 hours a day, a session, 2 to 3 times a week. And that 2 to 3 times is the 3 days I'm off a week, right? Because I work 3 days, I'm off 4, but Sunday or whatever, you just have an off day. You just spend time with your family and stuff. So I'm hoping I can keep it like that for FNP. We'll see. I know there's going to be a lot, especially a DNP program. They really expect a lot. They expect more out of you. It's just much more paper and research intensive is what I was told by the program administrators in the little video sessions we did prior to me getting in. So I guess it just depends on how fast you can type. I'm friends with, I help out the youth in my church and stuff, and they're all talking about how they, kids are home, how they just talk into the computer. They essentially dictate all their papers. And so, hi dear, I'm in the middle of my video. Hi, that's my wife, Kayla, everybody. And my kids are coming. I'm making a video for the good people online. Oh, okay. Someone wrote, I know that interior, that's a Subi. It's not. It's a BMW. But I'm not saying that because I'm bougie or something. I'm just saying, that's my next car I wish I had was a WRX, Subaru WRX. But right now I have a BMW. It's an old BMW, but I love it. So, aesthetic XX. It's a BMW. Sorry, buddy. I wish I had the Subi though. Okay, so here's somebody who said will you be able to enter? Hey guys. Will you be able to enter the CRNA school? I just don't know if this school would meet the requirements for a CRNA. So I already touched on that, I don't know. I can pretty confidently say now you could get into a DNP, FNP, but I don't know about CRNA, so. They have financial aid too? I think so. You really helped my decision. Are you able to choose which classes you tackle first? Or do they decide that? Well, your program, Eli's in the shot now. What's up, Eli? Your program mentor or something, believe me, they know that BSN program and they help thousands of students. So you can pick, if you argue long enough, I'm sure they'll say, fine, you can pick whatever class you want to do first, but they're going to tell you what class you should do first, and they're going to give you a reason why. And I would advise you to listen to them. They've seen thousands of students pass their WGU program. I would say they have more experience than you. Just do the classes they tell you to do first. Don't be difficult. Thank you so much for doing this video. Great video, great video, great video. I'm glad everybody liked it. Do you have to pay the ProctorU? No, you don't have to pay the ProctorU people. I think I said that in my first video, that if you fail 2 times and you're taking a test for the 3rd time, I think you have to pay. At least that's how it was when I was in. There's no way you got this done in 6 months. The community health hours are killing me. The good thing about the community health hours was I did my classes so fast that at the end, it was pretty much like I was just doing clinicals, like In other words, my clinicals are the community health. So it's like I was just doing community health. So all I had to worry about for the last couple of weeks, and it wasn't a lot, it was like 4 weeks. I had to get 65 hours done. But all I had to worry about was every day going somewhere and getting hours. And yes, I worked that around working. I did on the weekends because the farmer's market was open on the weekends. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do on those hours. Can you elaborate on the 60 hours? How did you record that? I can start the program with my RN license, but without a job. A percentage of the program was complete, if you remember. Oh, I don't remember. Someone asked, how much did you have to complete? Because they said, WGU says 73% of the program is already completed, and I only need 31 credits to graduate. I think mine was more than that. I think I didn't have as much. I didn't have 73% already complete. I think mine was in the 60s. So I had more hours to complete. In other words, I had 17 classes. That's all I remember. Thank you so much for the video. Okay, I think I answered most of these questions, which, like I said, I already answered most of these online, but I figured I'd just throw these away. Gangsta nurses. Yes. And I hope that's one of my things that I'm proud of and embarrassed of in that first video, but I don't know how to edit videos, and so I wasn't going to take it out, but I said WGU is looking for gangster nurses. And I stick by that. And hospitals are looking for gangster nurses. And what I mean by that, guys, hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. You know, I grew up, I'm not going to go into my whole life story, but whatever. I've known real gangsters in the real hood, in real, stuff. It's what I mean by that is it's just a mentality, and I plan on carrying forward that mentality into my FNP, is that just to be able to get stuff done. And I think you know this too in your job, is hopefully you're one of those nurses that they don't need their hand held so much, and they're always asking a question, they're always complaining, they're always calling, management. And if I'm your man, I've been in management positions too. I've been hiring and firing people before too. I've been there. And you know what? What we didn't like is those employees who are constantly calling you, constantly can't do their job, essentially. They can't figure things out on their own. They're not independent. They're very much take a lot of a manager's mental and emotional. There's usually a small percentage, 10%, that takes up 90% of your time. And you just don't want to be that person. And then when it comes to school, you want to also not be that person. And that's what I meant by that as far as WGU, because honestly, they had really good support and help, but WGU is a very independent style of school. It's, which is why I loved it, because if you don't need people to hold your hand and you can figure stuff out, you can critically think, it'll be great for you. And I plan to carry that forward into my FNP program, because that's the mentality you gotta have to get it done. No excuses. No, I don't have the whatever. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't make enough. I don't this and that. And you don't know. I didn't have a dad growing up. I mean, I don't know what people say. I'm left-handed. Just throw out all the excuses. If you're just going to make excuses, then don't try anything in life, right? But that's not me. I want to get better. I think you guys want to get better. So stay tuned. We're going to be getting into it. We're going to be studying hard. We're going to be passing classes. We're going to be writing papers. We're going to be FNPing before you know it. All right, 24 minutes. That is exactly, no, not exactly, a little more than half my last video, so we're doing good. I'm cutting down video time. Jake Farnsworth, peace out. Keep quarantining. Keep safe. Don't get the corona. I'm working on corona floors right now, so I'm in there with you. I'm on the front lines. I feel you. I'm out here with you, okay? All right. Hopefully this works out. Yes, that's paint. I'm painting my house because there's nothing else to do, right? All right. Signing off. Say bye, Eli. Bye to the good people.
Who are you talking to?
YouTube!